Hello and welcome back to my channel. For this card I have yet another platform pop-up. This one is using the pop-up main die as well as the add-on. Now here I'm pulling out the T-pieces and the main pieces so that I can use this honeycomb stencil from Fawn as well as some wild honey distress oxide ink. I'm keeping this very simple and I'm just going to go over all my pieces with the same color. I'm not worried if there's a little bit of a color variation where I get a little bit heavier with some of the ink. I actually think it looks better that way. This stencil did come from a Fawn stamp kit that is no longer available, and so will some of the stamps that I use today. So if you do not have those and you really like those, I am sorry that, I'm showing something that isn't available to you. I try not to do that if I can avoid it, but this one I do feel like enough people have it that people are probably still looking for new ideas on what to do with it. Alright, so here I'm just putting my little platform pop-up together. I've done this before. Recently, Fawn has tutorials on this if you're not sure how to put it together. I am still suffering a little bit from the effects of being sick. It has got my lungs unhappy right now, so it takes not too much for me to be very short of breath very quickly. So I'm going to try not to ramble too much. Now I'm going to ink up my little background pieces. This is for the very top bit, and I'm just using tumbled glass distress oxide. I'm keeping it very simple. Next, I have my stormy sky, and I'm just going to lightly ink the very tops of all of the little hills. I am going to make these snowy hills, but I did not want them just plain white. To further the look of snow, I have this Simon Says stamp unicorn glitter, and I am going to just do a thin strip of glue along each of the top of the hills, and then I'm going to dunk it into the glitter. Now, of course, this leaves a mess. Microfiber cloths to the rescue. Now I'm going to let all those dry, and in the meantime I'm going to stamp my images. I have Tiny Winter Friends, Car Critters Christmas Add-on, A Creature Was Stirring, Joy to All, and I only use this for this tiny little Christmas bulb here. I have the Hive Five stamp set and Sweet Christmas. For this card I have stamped a bunch of different things, but I have stamped 3 different beehives, and my color combinations do vary. 2 of them are this color combination, which was Y17, YR24, and YR27, and the last one was YR31, YR24, and YR27. So one has a slightly more goldeny yellow look than the others. This is the same as I've done before. I'm keeping my shading at the very bottom and edges of the little honeycomb sections. And then I'm just going in with my mid-tone, and then I will do my lightest color for the very tops of each segment. For my bees, I'm keeping them very simple. I'm just using 3 different shades of yellow, keeping the darkest color at the bottom or the side depending on how the bee is oriented, and I am giving the face just a little bit of shadow. Now I did stamp the one with the party hat. You'll see later I'm not using that party hat in this scene at all. I think I just did it to make it easier to stamp things. So those were very quickly my color combinations. I have my red color combination, which is more of a pink, and that's are 30, 32, and 35, and then my green combination is kind of like a minty green, sort of, like a winter fresh green. I don't know. It was G00, BG32, and G02. So I've pulled out all of the things that I knew I would be coloring either red or green, and I'm just going through and adding color to all of these little details. Now a lot of these things are so small that you really don't need 3 colors. I have a habit of pulling out 3 colors because it's what I got used to, But some of the stuff, like the little holly leaves or whatever, there was no way I could do 3 colors and get that to show up. For my little Christmas lights, I'm doing just the red ones on camera. I did do all of the other colors, and I just did it by using a light color in the edges, darker color in the center, and then I added a little white dot. I don't know how realistic this looks, but I went with it. Also, you just seen me color a little window from the gingerbread house. I originally thought I'd add it, but then I changed my mind. And here are all the colors that I use later. Screenshot it, pause it, whatever if you need to. And I'm moving on to my little gumdrops. I absolutely love this. I don't love gumdrops in real life, but I think they're like a cute candy. I don't know, I think it's just reminiscent of gingerbread houses and Christmas, so it's a nostalgic thing, I guess. I'm just focusing my darker color, well actually both darker colors, as dots, just to make it look kind of sugared. To add to that effect though, I do take my Quickie Glue pen, and this is great for tiny little details, and I'm just dotting the tops sort of randomly, and then I'm going to dip them in that same glitter so that they look sugared. And here's what it looks like. Moving on, I'm using some B's and some BVs to color in some of these hats because I decided I didn't want them all red or green. I don't actually use all of these hats. I just thought it would be cute, and these actually came from the Tiny Winter Friends stamp set. I just chopped the people off of the hats and used the hats. This is one of the many ways to get more uses out of each stamp set you have. I decided to color my little snowman in with a little bit of BV, the lightest one that I had, just to give it some shading where it wasn't gray. I think purple shadows for snow just are cuter. And of course I had to give at least one bee a mug of hot chocolate because how cute is that? It's silly, I know. Right now that my little snow hills are dry, I'm adding them to the back panel. And after this, there was glitter everywhere. I had loose glitter. So I'm just taking a Swiffer cloth and I am wiping up all the glitter off the little hills that weren't stuck. And then I'm going to glue them to my little platform. There we go. Getting the back piece glued. Just using liquid glue for all of these things. Now that my pop-up is together, I can start adding the decorations. And here I'm going to show you I'm cutting off the hat, even cutting off part of the antennas, because I just wanted to put a different hat on there. And I did this for several bees, but I only showed the one. And now I'm just decorating my little hives. This was fun. I kind of wanted to do more than just the 3 that I did, but considering there's limited real estate on the little platform pop-up, I knew I couldn't do that. All right, now here I gave that little bee some mistletoe. I just thought it would be cute if he was holding it over one of the doorways. I've added holly to one of the hives. I kept it pretty simple, and I made the most elaborate one the front, just so you could see the most of it. And I'm just adding the different bits here and there. I really wasn't sure exactly how I wanted this card, and during this time, I was on the struggle bus because, you know, I was sick, I was congested, I was having a hard time breathing. Oh, real quick here, I did color the outline of the cut image just because it was too stark white. There was too much white there, I thought. All right, here I have the little bee trail, and I decided I was going to use it for the string of lights. This was not my original plan. This was, you know, me flying by the seat of my pants. I actually kind of think it's cute. I thought maybe it could look like a couple bees were holding it in the background. So there's my little string of lights. I'm gluing it to the back just because that's where I had the most space. And now I'm just going to add my little bees here and there. And I decided it still needed some more. So I am going to pop some up on some little acetate strips to make it look like they're flying. For this, I do strongly recommend like a good, strong, double-sided tape because liquid glue doesn't really seem to like acetate very much. So you could probably try it, but I just don't know how well it would hold up. Now here's where I really decided to embrace the whole like gingerbread house, Candyland sort of look. And I'm just adding more candy to each side. Sorry I got off camera a few times. I was struggling with this. I really was. This is something I should have done before I added all the other pieces, but I really didn't know what I was doing with this card. I had a loose idea and I was excited about it, but that was pretty much it. One of the final details that I wanted to add to this card was the little bow around the pop-up platform. Now this comes with the die set, and it's not one that I've used a whole bunch. I think it's super cute, but I usually leave the front for sentiments. But I thought since the inside was quite busy, I would just leave the bottom part pretty plain. So I have this red striped paper that kind of reminded me of a candy cane, and I decided I would do the bow in the front that way. And then after that, this card is complete. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I will be back with another video soon.